is my home. These streets raised me.
Might get a little crazy out there today.
Media outlets from around the world await a verdict in the Rodney King beating.
Maybe I can bring the sun back up here.
All right, run it for me.
Catalytic converters.
They need platinum. How much they got in there?
10 million.
You need a miracle to pull this off.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Gospel Access, and I've got a hot interview with Tosin Morohunfola. How are you, Tosin?
I'm good. How are you, Tracy?
I'm good. If you're not familiar with Tosin, let me tell you about him. He is an actor, he's a writer, he's a director. He's doing it all. Talk to us about your upcoming projects.
Well, right now we just finished a new Tyler Perry movie called Joy Ridge. I think that'll come out next year. And thank you. And in theaters this August 30th, is a new film called 1992, starring Tyrese and Ray Liotta and Scott Eastwood. So that'll be August. Go see it.
Okay, so that tops August 1992, and then you're going to be in Tyler Perry's movie next year. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel very, very blessed, truly.
Well, you're grinding, you put in the work, and now you're shining on the big screen, right?
I guess. I mean, and I'm so glad you put it that way, because this will be my first time in theaters. You know, I've done other films, but I've never been in theaters until this film, 1992. So it's kind of interesting to mark that kind of achievement in my career, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm just very, very aware that, you know, in a changing industry landscape where streaming is everything, it is even more of a privilege to get to be in an actual theater and to be in theatrical distribution across the country. So it's a big deal, and I'm sitting with that gratitude.
Well, let's talk about the hard work that you put in, and talk to our viewers about how important it is to believe in yourself. Faith without works is dead. You got to put that work in. So talk to us about really putting the work in.
Yeah, I'm somebody who, I'm grateful to God that I had a very strong idea of what I wanted to do early on. You know what I mean? And so I started in church musicals, you know, church plays. And then I was doing high school plays. I majored in theater in college. And when I started performing professionally, I knew that this industry, more than a lot of other industries, is kind of self-motivated. Like, you really have to be self-motivating. There's not somebody bearing over you, making sure you show up to work and clock in. It's not a 9-to-5. And so I invested in my peers and in creators. And I spent a good amount of my early years like working with my friends to make our own independent short films, independent improv comedy shows, putting up our own plays. Like, I did as much as I could with like-minded friends who were also ambitious and also most of the time believed in something higher than themselves. And the truth of it is, not everybody was on the same wavelength in terms of faith or anything like that. But when I think I was fortunate enough to have a strong enough sense of vision for what I believed in and what kinds of stories I wanted to put out there, that people of faith and of no faith alike gravitated to joining onto the things I would make. And that gave me a kind of collaborative family. After Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin and Eric Garner, after these deaths, these Black unarmed deaths that happened at the hands of police in 2015, I started making one of my first short films, which was called On Site, and it was like a police brutality suspense thriller that really got into the psychology of police officers who just want to, who have biases that they don't acknowledge, that they take out on people that look like us. Mm-hmm. And people were so motivated. I think people saw the importance, the relevance, the timeliness, and the heart behind the project, and they joined on to be team members to help me fundraise, to help me make it. And I think all of those people now, regardless of what they're doing in life or whether or not they're acting, they are still upholding me and upholding my career because they believe kind of in the mission of the kind of stories I want to tell. You know what I mean? So
So
that's been a huge.
sounds like to me that you're a person that's got a clear vision and you're backing that up with strong action. Clear vision, strong action.
I try to, and also being willing to. I mean, it's tough sometimes taking a risk on yourself, but I'm learning that even as I grow more, what it means to invest in yourself takes on newer and greater meaning. You really have to dig deep to find what it is specifically that you want to invest in and give to the world. So yeah, I do. I try to be someone with strong vision, and I try to prayerfully make sure that it is in line with what feels like the world needs a little bit more of, you know.
Well, something that you said, I want you to talk a little bit more about. You're talking about risks, because a lot of people have visions and dreams within their heart that they want to see themselves achieve, but it's a risk. You know, if I jump, will I fly or will I fall? Right. So, how important is it to believe in yourself and go on and take that risk?
It's everything. I mean, it's everything, it's not always going to end up the same way for everybody. You know, I think, you know, it is our duty to not squander the talents we've been given. You know, we were given them for a reason. Sometimes the full picture of that reason is not always clear to us, but it will add up. I think that, you know, I have been lucky to be and blessed to be very successful as an actor, but I'm also a writer. I'm also a director. And those things I don't get to do as much, right? Because I'm busy acting. But the cultivation of those skills and the working on independent projects of my own on the side informs the work that I do as an actor. It informs what I bring to set because I have more of a directorial sense that I bring with me. And so it's kind of hard. It's like, it's a thing that I can't even fully explain, but like the thing that, you know, you bet on yourself in one area and you might not always know the way in which it will manifest, but it kind of feeds the other areas of your life. I think there's a saying that goes, how you do one thing is how you do everything. A phrase, something like that. Find that no matter how much, you know, you want to manifest your dreams, right? You work on the skills you need. And even if you have detours along the way, it's only going to make you better at those detours. And those detours are going to make you better at the dream that you wanted in the first place.
Come on now.
It's all circuitous. It really is. Like everything feeds everything as long as you're pouring your heart and your passion in it and you're believing in it and giving it the maximum effort, you know.
You're talking about the importance of stirring up your gift. What I'm hearing you say is all of the other things you were doing as far as the writing and the directing and all of that, you're stirring up, you're keeping the gift hot, flame.
Yeah, and letting other things feed it, you know. You don't, sometimes it's an unexpected, you don't know what's going to help you be better at the thing you're trying to do. But if you're open and receptive, that help, that wisdom, that skill advancement can come from anything that you're working on.
Yep. So you don't seem like you're a procrastinator. You seem like you're a guy who gets things done. So what do you do when you're tempted to say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow? Or do you succumb to, everybody's tempted to procrastinate on things that you know deep down is important. So how do you talk to our viewers about the importance of not procrastinating when it comes to your gift?
Well, I have my days. Let me not lie to you. I have my days. You know, not every day is the best or the most productive. And we have to, and that's important too. Like, we live in such a hustle culture that we do have to emphasize the importance of rest and taking a break so you can come back to something stronger. But what keeps me kind of motivated is a lot of what I want is in direct relationship to the world I see around me. And so I have constant reminders telling me this is important. Because my passion is social justice filmmaking. When I make a film that's commenting on police brutality, or trying to make a film right now that's commenting on Christian nationalism and how people weaponize Christianity sometimes for harm, I can't help but to look around the world, and with every news cycle that comes and tells a new story of how some politician was trying to twist people's arms, or insisting that Jesus would want us to do this when in fact Jesus would want us to do the opposite. I can't help but have it be more gas to my tank and more fuel to keep me working, to make something that makes a difference in the way that we see the world, and makes us remember that our primary job is to love each other and to empathize with each other and to stand up for each other. So for me, I guess a lot of my fuel comes from, the vision that was planted in my heart is informed by the world around me. And as long as I keep my eyes open, it keeps me pointed in the right direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're saying is what you're saying.
And everybody has a different calling, everybody has a different mission. But I know for me, I just feel my feet feel planted to the ground with this particular calling. And I just have to keep my eyes open and my heart open, and then it tells me which direction to put my efforts towards.
Were you ever afraid of when you discovered this is what I want to do, this is my calling? Were you ever fearful that it wouldn't work? And how did you push past your fears?
Definitely fearful. Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants anything great that matters without some fear, And I even had some fear from my family at a time when I was making my first film. I was like, I hope that there's no blowback that harms them. So first of all, I had to sit in prayer with that. And then I had to talk to my family and, seek advice and wisdom and keep them informed of what I was thinking. And then just double down on the vision and believe that even if there's a reason to be afraid, whether it's the fear is, will I finish the project, or will it have the effect I want? Or will there be some blowback on me? I had to sit with the fact that it doesn't matter, because this thing is more important than all of those things.
Good.
Like, the thing that I believe in and the ability it has to affect people is more important than my reputation. It's more important than my career. It's more important than, on some days, I think about it as more important than even my life, which for me, that part doesn't scare me. That gives me purpose, you know what I mean? And direction. So yeah, that's what it is for me. The fear will come, and it always comes. And even just budgetarily, do I have enough money? Can I raise enough money? Do I have enough people? Is there enough crew? Will the people on set be down for it? Can I deliver the right performance? Is there a better actor for the job? All of those things don't matter in the face of. It doesn't matter in the face of, it was given to me. It was the vision that I have, and it's my job to execute it. And I just have to push through those fears, because it is bigger than my fears.
I believe this portion of the interview, I know it's going to bless a lot of people, because you don't hear too many people talk about the bigness or the largeness of what God has put in your heart to do. And you said it very eloquently. It's like it's bigger than my fears. It's bigger than my uh, what I'm scared of. It's bigger than that. So let me pull up my pants, get it together, and stick my chest out, and just want to do this and do it in spite of the fear. What do they say? If you do what you fear, the death of fear is certain. If you do what you fear, the death of fear is certain.
If you do what you fear, the death of fear is certain. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're trying to kill all the little fears. For real. We just there's so much of life that is fear-based decision making. And I hate it. It irks me so much. You know, there are people who just live decision based on fear. And there's a lot of things that we're meant to accomplish in life that we just have to be brave and courageous and take the path that is not fear motivated but is purpose motivated. It's passion motivated.
Well, I
If
think
it
that
doesn't scare you, yeah.
if it doesn't scare you, it ain't big enough. If you
It
can,
ain't big enough.
so.
Yeah.
Well, Tosin, you've been in The Shy, you've been in Run the World, NCIS, the Julia Child series. Who is it that you have not worked with? I mean, come on, you worked with Tyler Perry here, so I don't know how much bigger and grander that could be. But is there anybody that you'd like to work with that you have not worked with yet?
Oh yeah, I got a list. I got a list. One of my favorite filmmakers is Ava DuVernay. I love her similar-minded, social justice-oriented, awareness-bringing work. And if anybody hasn't seen Origin yet, go see Origin. It is a phenomenal piece of work that is really a risky piece of film, but powerful. Also, I love me some Ryan Coogler. I can't say enough how much I love Ryan Coogler's work. Same with Jordan Peele. And I think my favorite mind-bending filmmaker, Christopher Nolan, he's on my list as well. So one of these days, I hope to work with all of them.
You never know where your paths, who they're going to cross.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
And I have a feeling. It's coming.
Well, I'm going to be looking for you in 1992. When does that come out? What's the date?
August 30th. August 30th, 1992 comes out. It's going to be dope. It's going to be a great heist movie.
Don't you have a birthday coming up?
I do. Yes, I have a birthday next week, I think.
Come on,
The
man.
weekend. It's
Okay.
August 1st. Mark it in your calendars. Feel free to send me gifts.
So look, August is going to be huge for you. Come on now, your birthday, and you're going to be on the big screen. That's it right there. You don't need nothing
I
else.
guess I didn't think about it like that, but you're right. That's a gift enough.
But I thank you so much for this interview, for taking time out to encourage the Gospel Access viewers. You are a young man full of old wisdom, that's for sure.
I like that.
So much, and we'll be looking for many, many, many wonderful, stellar projects from you.
Thank you. I hope to deliver. Keep the prayers. Keep praying for me, please.